Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Shata Shishmad, His Divine Loving Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Nitai Gaura Premanand. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you so much for coming. Vidur Prabhu is here. He's very, very senior devotee, disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. And he's probably the first person to start any programs in the Dallas area. He was in Plano, and his house was the original root of the vrikshas, of the vriksha that has been. So he's also he's taken so many wonderful responsibilities and services in the in the mission of Srila Prabhupada under the guidance of his spiritual master. And he's a solid pillar which doesn't move. It's like when you have a foundation, you want foundations, then don't fall apart, right, Jaishnav? So it's like that, very solid foundation. You can trust him, rely on him, to not shake. So, thank you, Vidur Prabhu. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Jaishnav asked me, why was there a question mark in front of my name in the list of devotees that was supposed to be giving class. Various reasons, Jaishnav. One is, most devotees have a question mark, why the hell am I giving class? I have that question myself. It is because there is, at least in cricket, there is supposed to be a 12th man. You know what a 12th man is? There are 11 people who play. But there's a 12th person or maybe there's 15th person. There's a team of 15. There's the last person. If all else fails, that person essentially has to do whatever is necessary. So that's why I'm here. But I'm sorry for being here. I apologize. I'm not qualified primarily because I'm not on the other side of the audience, listening to class every single day. Maybe Jaishnav, not maybe, definitely Jaishnav is more qualified to sit here, but for some reason his name is not on here. Yeah, probably that's why. Next time when you feel well, we'll swap. But we will be reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. I believe, I do not know what is supposed to happen here. There is this Krishna house thingamajig which manages the entire schedule. Is that right, Sadanandini Mataji? Yeah. So, told to speak on a set of verses from the 7th canto. starting with verse from chapter 4, verse 21 onwards. So because this is not a regular thing, I'm just going to do one verse. No, I don't think we have the verse either. So for those who have phones, which Vaishnav does not, for good reason. He has the book. Okay, that's wonderful. Then we can try and repeat this particular situation. The verse, so chapter, is Canto 7, chapter 4, text 21. Please repeat. Tasyogra danda samvigna sarve loka sapalakaha anyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayo achutam tasyogradanda samvigna sarvaloka sapalaka anyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam tasyogradanda samvigna sarve loka sapalaka anyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam tasyogradanda samvigna sarve loka sapalakaha anyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam. Please chant. Yogradanda samvigna loka sapalakaha nyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam. Yogradanda samvigna loka sapalakaha nyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam. Mothers. Yogradanda samvigna loka sapalakaha anyatra labdha sharana sharanam yayurachutam. Mothers. Yogradanda samvigna sharanam yayurachutam. Anyone else? Nainanvita? Word to word translation. Tasya, of him, Hiranyakashipu. Ugradanda. What does that mean, Vaishnav? What is Ugra? Fearful? And Danda. What your mother beats you with. Ugradanda. By the very fearful chastisement. Samvigna, disturbed. Sarve, all. Loka, the planets. Sapalaka, with their principal rulers. Anyatra, anywhere else. Alabdha, not obtaining. Sharana, Nam, for shelter. Yeah, you approached. Achutam, the Supreme Personality of God. And purported by His Divine Grace, Abhay Sharanaravinda Prabhupada. Read the translation. Please repeat after a little bit. Everyone, including the rulers of the various planets, was extremely distressed because of the severe punishment inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu. Fearful and disturbed, unable to find any other shelter, they at last surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Purport. Madhakunti. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 5:29, you know that verse, Krishna? Bhoktaram yakya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is actually the best friend of everyone. Who is he? The best friend of everyone. Who's everyone? Us and them. Us and them. In a condition of distress or misery, one wants to seek shelter of a well-wishing friend. The well-wishing friend of the perfect order is Lord Shri Krishna. Therefore, all the inhabitants of the various planets, being unable to find any other shelter, were obliged to seek shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Friend. If from the very beginning we seek shelter of the Supreme Friend, then there will be no cause of danger. From the very beginning, what do? Seek shelter of the Supreme Friend. Then there will be no other danger. What kind of dangers are there? Do you have any dangers? Yogana, any dangers in your life other than your parents? I always thought my parents were a big danger. Yeah. Danger of bottles falling. What dangers are there? Anyone want to give that a shot? Do we have any dangers in our life? What dangers do we have, Radha Seva Mataji? He's the danger? Whoa! What did you do to your fingers? Hare Krishna, Shyamsundar Prabhu has baked his fingers. Hare Krishna. Yeah, there is danger at every step. Padam padam yad vipadam. But yeah, if we start with taking shelter of Krishna, then there is no danger. That's really beautiful how Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. It is said that if a dog is swimming in the water and one wants to cross the ocean by catching hold of the dog's tail, certainly he is foolish. Yes. Is that a good idea? Similarly, if in distress one seeks shelter of a demigod, he is foolish, for his efforts will be fruitless. In all circumstances, one should seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then there will be no danger under any circumstances. The powerful and simple instructions by Srila Prabhupada. There are a few points here. So for those who are here for the first, are you here for the first time? Have you been here before? Oh, welcome to Radha Kalachanchi Temple. The morning program is that we will be having a discussion on the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Srila Prabhupada gracefully translated, 18,000 verses. This is the next stage of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Every day we have a class on the Gita in the evening also. And the Srimad Bhagavatam discusses the science of God in considerable detail, giving examples from historical evidences on what is the nature of God, and how in the situation that we are in we can see and recognize His presence and His mercy and His grace and His shelter. And at 8:30 we will have a nice wonderful breakfast feast, so please hang in there. Again, thank you for coming. The story goes as that, and we'll just briefly maybe take a couple of minutes, that Jaya and Vijay, because of their offenses to the Kumaras and specifically with the arrangement of Lord Narayan, fell down into a situation where they were to take the bodies of demons, of someone who is an asuric person who does not agree with the control of the Supreme Lord. And they were born first as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, the children of Diti and Kashyap Muni. And Hiranyaksha started terrorizing the entire universe, and because of that he was killed by Varaha Dev. Right? What kind of animal is Varaha? A boar. He was really bored, so he went and killed Hiranyaksha. So he got. There's so many wonderful pastimes there, but because his brother was killed, Hiranyakashipu was extremely distressed, and he performed penances to essentially control the entire universe, which he did by his austerities. He got benedictions from Lord Brahma, and now because of that he basically did what we are also seeing now happening a little bit, that we have you basically laid off everyone in the administration and told them that you now work for me. Either you work for me or you get out, essentially, right? So Hiranyaksha, so all the demigods, Indra, Varuna, Agni, all of them are now subservient. All the sages and the munis, all the priests are all subservient to Hiranyakashipu. So he can do whatever he wants to. Basically, there is no challenging his power, and so when that happens, things become a little bit distressed. So why are they distressed now, right? Basically, we're saying, okay, so the demigods, why are they in distress? Anyone want to give that a shot? Because they still have their jobs in one sense, but why are they in distress? Raseshwari, do you know why the demigods are in distress? Anyone want to give that a shot? They're serving a demon rather than Lord Vishnu. Okay? Now what's wrong with that? You still have a job. You still, take care of the winds, take care of the rains and the thunders and all of this. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. Is there? Happiness lies in serving the Lord. Okay. They're not getting their sacrifices? Yeah, they're not. Their honor is finished. Yes. In principle, if you really look at it, and if you look at what Prabhupada Priyamataji was saying yesterday and discussing yesterday, it's really interesting that, and in the following purports also, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that really, the demigods are in a position where they are the controllers for a reason, but when that position goes away, there is distress at various different levels. And both of you are right in that one sense, right? The initial thought is, it's my service, you took away my service, what am I supposed to do now, right? But my service is also getting me some recognition, and that recognition has also gone away. Now I can't do whatever I wanted to do, even though I'm doing it based on certain principles. It's a very interesting thought, because realistically what happens is that the demigods are put in a position for a reason. What is the demigod's role in the universal thing? What are they supposed to be doing? Managing, yes, they're managers, yes. It's a very important thing, that they manage the different departments. There is the initial 3 primary deities who are Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, yes. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and Vishnu. So they are managing, they are kind of taking care of the 3 modes in one sense, yes. Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. And under them, specifically under the mode of passion, we have the different demigods. We have Indra, we have Varuna, we have Agni, we have Surya, we have so many other that take care of various different things. And they are given specific responsibilities. Yes. Now this is an interesting thing, because, and let's compare this with, I want to say, ISKCON. Right? That even within ISKCON, there are devotees that will be given, that are given responsibilities. In fact, every person is given responsibility. What is the responsibility that is given to each and every one of us within ISKCON? That's not a responsibility in one sense, that is, but that's more personal. But within ISKCON, let's think about it like that. What is the responsibility? That is, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically gave us, right? Okay. Spread Krishna consciousness, right? Yes. Amara agya hai, Guru han tare desh. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna upadesh. That's the responsibility each and every one of us have. Agreed? Is there any difficulty there? That become a guru under my guidance and instruction. That is, you are given the responsibility right there. And what is the definition? What is the vision statement? Dare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Whoever you see, you give them Krishna. So similarly, the demigods are given these responsibilities. And they perform their responsibilities with various different reasons. Now, it's pretty powerful positions that these demigods are given, right? Let's say you are in charge of the sun. Yavana, you like that? Yes, you're in charge of the sun. You're responsible pretty much for life across the entire universe. Pretty powerful position. So the sun doesn't rise, what happens? No school. I was about to say that. No school. You don't have to wake up. Right. There are planets on this universe that the sun doesn't really show up. And then what happens there? Do anyone know? Huh? How does light get there? There. Yeah. The jewels and the hoods of the snakes, the nagas, that light up the whole place. And so there is never night in these subterranean heavenly planets. We went through that in the fifth canto, I think. Right. But different story. With the sun, yeah, you're in charge of the sun. Pretty powerful responsibility. But that responsibility is, the sun has to be very, very specific and careful to understand. Yes, yasya brahmati samvrata kala chakro. Yes, the Brahma Samhita said, by the instructions of Govinda Mahadipurusham, by the instructions of Govinda, he's performing the act of turning the wheel of time. Yes, the sun rises and the sun sets, time is moving on. So very, very powerful responsibility, but under the instructions of Govinda. So similarly, the demigods are also given this responsibility. Yes. And the efficacy of the performance of their responsibility is to the extent that they can remember that this is their service to the Supreme Lord. Yes. Because realistically, if you see, Krishna is in charge of everything. He doesn't need anything. He can take care, he's creating everything, he's managing, maintaining everything. And he is also responsible for enjoying the results of everything. If the sun or the moon or Indra or any one of them decide that I am the one giving life, then Krishna has to come, give them a little bit of a wake-up call. They're saying that, oh, hold on a second, that's not what it is. I'm the boss. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. Krishna says in the Gita, right? That of all the sacrifices, I am the enjoyer, I am the bhokta. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the class here, bhokta ram yagyata prasam. That I am actually the bhokta, I am the enjoyer of all your sacrifices. Everything that you do, I'm the boss. Please remember that. Why? Because I'm your best friend. Yes. Now we'll come to the best friend part just in a little bit. But those responsibilities are given, and hence sometimes what happens is that the demigods forget. All of us forget, but we'll come to that also in a second. But the demigods forget that they are actually working under the guidance and for a specific purpose of the Supreme Lord. Now what is the purpose of the material world in one sense? At a very, very high level. At a very, very high level. What is the purpose of the material universe that they're working for? I mean, no wrong answers here. Something I'm thinking, but I'm pretty sure you're also thinking of something. So what is the purpose of the material universe? Yes, excellent. He, Vidura Prabhu has nailed it. Yes. We learn our mistakes. The material universe is to help us learn our mistakes, rectify our mistakes, and then go back home, back to God. Yes. Everything in a nutshell. The entire material universe in 5 seconds. Yes. It's still a prison house. So whatever how it is structured is Krishna structured in a certain way so that we rectify it. It's a prison house. It's Durga, right? But the demigods are supposed to execute there. Their job is to execute, making sure that eventually that everyone goes back to Godhead, including them. Right? They are not here to essentially show off either. They are also part of the material thing, and they are given certain responsibilities, and then we move on. Now let's take all of this and take it to our situation within the community and the society that Srila Prabhupada has created for us. Yes, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Yes. Pretty much, what is the purpose of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? To help each other and rectify ourselves and go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, exactly. Right? We have learned, we know there's a process that Srila Prabhupada has given us. And we follow that process. And we follow that process, we go back home, back to Godhead. Now, what happens is that sometimes we become extremely complacent. Become extremely complacent in our execution of our services that have been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Yes. And there is a wake-up call. Welcome to Hiranyakashipu. Yes, there are wake-up calls. So the first thing is to accept and understand that we have to take responsibility. First, yes. When we come to the society, when we come to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, there is, the initial part where we are given certain facilities. We are told, okay, what exactly will you achieve when we come to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? It's beautiful. Yes. Dukkha dure gelo, chinta na rahilo. Chaudike, ananda dekhi. Yes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays. That's the only thing, yes. When we Atma Nivedana, when we surrender ourselves, what happens? Dukkha dure gelo. All our worries and suffering is finished. Chinta na rahilo. No anxieties. Chaudike ananda dekhi. Everywhere we see just bliss. Yes, and then that's oh wow, this is wonderful. I want to be part of the society. I want to do this. What next comes is, okay, wonderful. You want to do this? All right. Here's some basic things. Why don't you chant Hare Krishna? This is the part of the process. Oh, excellent. I'll chant Hare Krishna. Yes. Oh, excellent. I will enjoy Mahaprasad. I will come and partake of the Lord's mercy every single day. Yes. And read some books. Yes, wonderful philosophy. Stimulates the mind. This is really nice. It makes sense. Everything starts getting put into place. Yes. But a little bit later on comes the verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us. Now that you have been given all of this, take responsibility. Spread the glories of the holy name everywhere. Be serious. Be sincere. Yes. Take this very sincere. Now that you understand, the sweetness is there. You have experienced a little bit of that sweetness. Now let's take it to the next level. Really take responsibility to help others become Krishna. As Vidura Prabhu was saying, yes, what is our role and responsibility in ISKCON? To help others also become devotees, to bring them. Once you're in. Krishna is going to take care of you. So we are given that responsibility, and to the extent that we actually accept and take that responsibility, to that extent, that mercy flows to us. And to the extent that we don't, then we are in trouble. Now, what kind of responsibilities do we accept? We'll start around the room and see what kind of responsibilities do we have in the service of Srila Prabhupada. I'm not saying your responsibilities, but in general, responsible. Like Param Karuna Prabhu has taken responsibility to ensure that Srila Prabhupada's books are distributed everywhere and anywhere. Yes, that's his responsibility, at least. But there are others, I'm saying, he's taken ownership of that. He travels in a van, he gets the books, he goes, distributes them, manages the profit and loss statements, everything, yes, from the top to the bottom. It's a headache, a lot of it is. But it's a service of love. Yes. To hand over a book and actually change someone's life is a phenomenal feeling. And he's taken responsibility. So maybe some others can also enliven what kind of responsibilities, not just you personally, but others are taking or should be taken in the service of Srila Prabhupada. Open mic, anyone? Don't have to even raise your hands. Yes, Param Karuna. Right. Yeah, Acharati Shrestha. So, Srila Prabhupada expected us to be Shrestha, to be expert in, to be exemplary in everything that we do. That's a huge responsibility. Are we exemplary in everything that we do? When we come to the temple or otherwise, what is the nature of our character? Yes. Very important. Yes. Anything else? At so many different levels. Yes. I'll start at the very, very basic level. Right. To keep the temple clean. Is it everyone's responsibility? Yes. If there is something, if there is trash that has not been taken out, do we, I think that's me on the back behind you. Just turn it off. Sorry. Yes. So take the trash out. That's everyone's responsibility, including Jaishnav's, including mine. Yes, including Yavana's. Everyone's responsibility. Yes. And definitely it's making sure that we don't create trash in the temple. That's also a bigger responsibility. Yes. That we don't use the temple as a trash can. Yes. Don't dump our trash in the temple. Also to kind of grow our consciousness to the point that we don't necessarily waste anything within the temple. Do we agree? If you see lights on places where they're not supposed to be on, we turn off the lights. That's whose responsibility? Each and every. This is our society, right? That's what we are supposed to be doing. Yes. To make sure, and this is a really interesting metric that we have, right? That we come to the temple to do what? Louder. You're not on the mic, so no one's going to know who said it. Yeah. Anyone? What do we come to the temple for? To serve. Yes. Deepak Prabhu says to serve. We come to the temple to serve, not to be served. Yes, at least that should be clear. Don't come to the temple to be served. Yes. So we take responsibility to serve when we come. Who are we serving? We started the discussion with that. We're serving, of course, Shri Radha Kalachandji, but on their behalf, we're serving Srila Prabhupada. We're serving the Guru. And we are serving the devotees. And we are serving anyone who comes to see Shri Radha Kalachandji. At so many different levels we have service. That's the only reason we have to come to the temple, really. Especially for those of us who has joined the society. Yes. We're part of the society, we're part of this family. We take responsibility within that. It's wonderful. We're given this responsibility, let's take it, let's make it happen. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Yes. So we come to the temple to serve, make sure that we don't take service from the temple. We don't come here because we have free Wi-Fi. Yes. We don't come to the temple because, the air conditioning in my house is expensive and let me get free air conditioning at the temple. We don't come to the temple because it's difficult to cook at home. Sorry, this is getting into controversial topics. Yes, we don't come to the temple for these services. We come here to serve. Yes, each and every time we come, we see, oh, there's prasad. Let me go and distribute this to people who don't have prasad. Yes, very, very critical that we do that. Because otherwise what happens? We are actually taking from the temple more than we are giving to the temple. You're taking from the society rather than giving to the society. Our job is to come here and serve. Yes. And not to really say that, oh, where are the plates? Why didn't someone get me plates? The temple management should be responsible. No, we have to take responsibility. It's something that just we have to do. And so the demigods, coming back, are taking responsibility on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Yes. And sometimes people will then, people get, all of a sudden your responsibilities are taken away when we become a little bit lax. We don't understand why we are doing what we are doing. And so in the Leela of the Lord, He sends obstacles to wake us up. As Vidura Prabhu was rightly saying. Wake us up. Jiva jago, jiva jago. What are you doing? Are you here to enjoy? Mr. Demigod? The opulences of what you have, of the power that you have received? Are you here to exploit? Are you here to basically do whatever you want to do based on your opinion? Or are you here to serve me and help me enjoy? Not me. Lord. And when it doesn't happen, you get a wake-up call. And these wake-up calls are very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Like the demigods are experiencing now. And when that wake-up call happens, then we go, Krishna, Krishna Mahabaho, please, 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 please. We forgot you. And very interesting, right? Basically, they said they tried every other shelter. They tried their 401k accounts. They tried doing whatever they can to adjust everything. But they're saying, no, this is completely beyond my situation. I cannot. I have zero control over this. I am finished. I'm helpless. And in that situation, when we approach the Lord actually shows up, gives us guidance and direction. But Srila Prabhupada is very rightly saying that if you remember the Lord in dangers, that's nice, He'll free you from dangers. But instead, what is He saying? If you remember the Lord right from the very beginning, before the danger shows up, there is no danger. A very, very interesting situation. Yes. So whenever we have dangers in our life, we should remember definitely that we forgot to remember what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked us to do. Or we are becoming lax or opinionated in our understanding of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking us to do. And that's when we approach the Supreme Lord, but the Supreme Lord is manifest in the form of the Guru at so many different levels. And we approach them. What should I do now? Instead of trying to use our intelligence too much, we approach. With a straw between our teeth, in a humble way, we approach. What should I do now? I have no taste for chanting. I only go to the temple to enjoy, to be glorified. I go to the temple to show off how beautifully I can sing and dance and how much Mahaprasad I can eat. Vaishnav is happy about that. Or to tell people big philosophy. But I am a complete rascal. My dear Lord, please wake. My dear spiritual master, please help me. How do I get out of this? And the Guru helps. And that's the process. As he comes and he tells us, and within the heart he enlivens and he gives us the instruction that allows us to then continue on our path. We get distracted and continue on our path. Yes. So we'll see that the demigods are now in a they're put in a situation where they are helpless. And they can remember the Lord always. And Queen Kunti is also praying to always be put in a helpless situation so that she can always remember the Lord. Yes. Vipachanto yashashvad tatra tatra jagat guru. Yes. Please always give me these distresses. Now we don't pray like that, but we have distresses every day. Yes. We bake our fingers once in a while. Yes. We get diseases we have job issues, And then that's the wake-up call. I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here to be comfortable. I didn't come to the Dham to be comfortable. I came to Krishna consciousness because I was lost. My heart was dry. There was nothing. And now Srila Prabhupada has given me something. He's brought me to the river of nectar and I have lost it. I've got distracted. So we thank and we move on. Then we take the association of devotees, those around us, and ask them, Prabhu, please help us, guide us. And we take the help of the Guru, and take the help of the scriptures, and Krishna comes. Yes. Janmashvarya shruti shrubhi edhamana madhapuman naiva hartam vidhatam vai tvam akinchana gochara. That you are the property, Queen Kunti says, of the materially impoverished. Yes. So when we are too caught up in the Janma Aishwarya Shruti Shribhi, then we forget what is bhakti. We forget we are not here to be glorified or to get intelligent and knowledgeable. No. We come here because we are materially impoverished and spiritually impoverished. I'll stop here. There's a few minutes. If there are any corrections and comments, I will not keep you from our breakfast. There are none. Param Karuna Prabhu. Karuna Prabhu is saying that as we deepen our association in Krishna consciousness, as we deepen our convictions, sometimes, and we forget what our real position is, our wake-up calls are really, really hard, almost intolerable. And so Param Karuna Prabhu's question is that when senior devotees are those whose intensity in Krishna consciousness is extremely high, the intensity of the wake-up call for them, for us, at least apparently for them also, is extremely high. And Yasyaham anugrinami. Yes. Yes. So we understand, of course, that Krishna's real mercy is when he completely, that the only way that we can understand why Krishna consciousness is so beautiful So sweet. Why Krishna is our most dear friend is when we see the examples of the devotees who in the most difficult of situations completely take shelter of the Lord. And the only way we can see that is when these devotees go through difficulties. Yes. And for the devotees, मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तोहार नित्य दास प्रति दुआ अधिकार. Yes. That's the basis of our yes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. I mean, that's what it is. Now, whatever you think, and we pray that with Lord Chaitanya every single day. Yes, Ashla Seva Padaratam Pinusha. Whatever you want to do, you do with me. You're still my Lord, unconditional. So that's the tattva. That's the very highest level of what happens. And for those who are, we feel that the intensity of the pain and the suffering is a lot. But for those devotees, it is a recognition of the fact that Krishna is actually taking them back. He's using them the way that he wants to be used. He wants them to be used. Yes. It's there. For us, it's a wake-up call saying that, oh my God, it's not that we come to devotion so that we can live very comfortable lives, because that's not what Krishna has promised at all. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam holds whether you're a pure devotee or you are a neophyte devotee or you're not a devotee. Right? So don't expect happiness. We don't expect happiness in the material world at all. But when we do, Krishna wakes us up. Saying that, dude, you're going in the wrong direction. Yes. Instead of taking responsibility for yourself and for my mission, you are now kind of getting too comfortable. Don't do that. Don't even comfortable in our own services. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I'll take that away like this. Either through health or because of various other factors, I'll just take it away. And then what do you have? What are you left with? Nothing. But there is one thing. Take shelter of the Lord. That is the basis. He's the dearest friend. That is why he's the dearest friend. He's there all the time. Does that kind of... Yeah, no, it is the necessity for us to always understand that we cannot even walk without the grace of Krishna. Nothing we can do, nothing at all. Yes. So many different times Krishna has put, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam talks about, there's really nothing you can do. It starts out with the king of the entire planet essentially just putting a snake in someone's system. It's inconceivable. And then 7 days later, you're supposed to be gone. It's just inconceivable how this happens. But it also tells us what happens within the heart. How Krishna is supporting very nicely during these very beautiful situations through the words of the Srimad Bhagavatam. They give us solace. They are there for us all the time. Yes. And when that solace happens, when we know that we are in that control, then we are very happy to take responsibility for Krishna. Happy to perform austerities for Krishna. Yes. Really happy to perform austerities. Looking for the austerities. How can I serve rather than how can I be served? Yes. Not asking, why is the other devotee not serving? I'm given an opportunity to serve. Let me serve. And when that happens, Krishna gives us more opportunity, and at some point of time, he's going to also, use us in a way that he wants us to be used. We're completely, as Srila Prabhupada prays when he is in Boston Harbor, let me be a puppet in your hand. It's really phenomenal. Yes, let me be a puppet in your hand. Make me dance as you like. So are we ready to dance in Srila Prabhupada's Jai Shri Radha Kalachandji Bhagwan? They don't want to listen to me, so I'll stop here. But if there are any questions or comments, anything else going on? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There you go.